Hey guys, this is Mr. Grice for Algebra Unit 2.6 Notes, Day 2. Today we're talking about calculating the slope of a line. Our learning target today is to be able to calculate the slope by using a graph, to be able to calculate the slope by a line when given 2 points in a function notation, to be able to find missing coordinate in an order and plane when given the slope of a line. Woo! Oh my gosh, that was super fast. If you want to read them all yourself, there you go. So we're going to talk about calculating the slope of a line by using the slope formula and describing it. Right? So if you forgot, yesterday we were talking all about slope and using the slope formula. Okay? Now the slope formula is y2 minus y1 on the top, and on the bottom we have x2 minus x1. Now if you forget that, maybe you needed to get it tattooed on your arm so you could see it, or just look in the classroom, there's a poster. That might be a little bit easier for you. So no matter what, anytime I'm starting to use the slope formula, I know right away that I need to do y2 minus y1, okay? So you can just go ahead and fill this in every single time because that's your formula, okay? Now, I'm going to do number 1 with you, and then you guys are going to do 2 and 3 on your own just because this is a review, okay? So as I'm setting it up, I know I have to do 6 minus 4 on the top, and on the bottom, I have 0 minus negative 4. Two negatives turn that to be a positive. Okay, so 6 minus 4 is 2, 0 plus 4 is 4, and then I always want to reduce my fraction, so that turns out to be 1/2. Okay, now to describe that line, well, from left to right or whatever, it's a positive slope. So if it's a positive slope, I know that this is rising. Okay, so I'll help you set this one up. The y's are on top, -1 minus 3, and then 10 minus 5. X's are on the bottom. And then you guys are good for the rest of these for number 2 and 3. Okay, so go ahead and pause that video and good luck. Okay, so for number 2, you should have got that it was a -4/5, and since it's negative, that means my slope is falling. All right, number 3, I can't leave my answer as 6 divided by 0. Okay, we have to divide that out, and if you can see, I just divided it out right there. If you don't believe me, look, 6 divided by 0, error. Okay, that's completely different if the 0 is on the top, because I would get an actual answer. So when it's an error, that's when I know that it's undefined, and that is a vertical line. All right, so remember that slope gives us direction from one point to another, and we always talk about from left to right. Now the y2 minus y1, okay, that is the rise or fall, okay? The rise or fall tells us if we need to go up or down. So that's the top. The bottom, the y2 minus y1, is called the run, okay? And that tells us to go to the right. All right, so let's take a look at some of these and we'll zoom in. Oh, maybe not that far. There we go. All right, so here's my first point. There's my second. From left to right, this graph is rising, okay? So I would say that this is rise over run. And the amount that I rise is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then to the right, 1, 2, 3. So 6 over 3. Except I can reduce 6 over 3 to 2. So 2 is my slope. Sorry about number 5. We're having technical difficulties right there, but our point is right here. Now, this is a vertical line. All hear me, all vertical lines have an undefined slope. So you should know that just right away. Now, if you want me to prove it, here we go. There are my 2 points. I need to go up. And I go up 1, 2, 3, 4. So I went up 4, but I don't go to the left or right. So that would be 0. And 4 divided by 0 is undefined. Okay, number 6. Why don't you try it on your own? Go ahead and pause the video, and good luck. Okay, so from left to right, this graph is rising. It's rise over run. And my slope is 3 over 4 because it doesn't reduce. All right, number 7. From left to right, this graph is falling. Okay, so this would be fall over run. I want to know how much I fall first. So I go down 3, 1, 2, 3, and then over 1, 2, 3. So -3 over 3, and that reduces to -1. Okay, number 8. 8 right away, I see that this is horizontal. It's a lazy line, and lazy lines have a 0 slope. Okay, we talk about how memorizing that would be very helpful. Now, to prove it, from those are my points from left to right. I don't go up or down, so my rise or fall is 0, but then my run is 3. And 0 divided by 3 is 0. Remember, we cannot have a 0 in our slope. We need to figure out what it is. Okay? All right, number 9, you guys are on your own. Go ahead and pause the video, and good luck. Okay, right away I knew that this graph was falling, so it's fall over run. I go down 5 and over 2. I can't reduce that slope, so that's what it is. All right, let's go ahead and flip it over. So it's asking us to rewrite the ordered pair that corresponds to the function notation. So I've got one function right here, but I've got 2 answers, 2 ordered pairs in here. So remember that our first is our x, and then that's our y. So this would be the point 7, 0, and 1 comma -3. Okay, so here's my blue, and there was my pink. Okay, and we do the same thing for each one. So here's my blue one, there's my pink one, and I like to keep things organized over here. So remember, this is my x and this is my y, so it's -1, comma 9, and there's my x, there's my y, so it's 8 and 11. Okay, why don't you go ahead and try number 12? You don't need to pause the video, just do it right now. I just realized that that looked like a x. That wasn't supposed to do that. So there's my x, there's my y, x and y. So 0, -6, and -5, 2. Okay? That's important because now when we're calculating the slope of a line when given that information, we're going to do the same thing here. Because first, we're going to turn these into points, 4, 0, and 2, -3. And then we're going to use the slope formula. Okay, so -3 and 0. And then on the bottom, I have 2 minus 4. -3 minus 0 is -3. 2 minus 4 is -2. And does it reduce? Yeah, it does, because it's 2 negatives, and 2 negatives make a positive. So it's 3 over 2. Okay, and then to describe it, is it rising, falling, horizontal or vertical? Yeah, this is rising. Okay, so number 14, we're going to do the same thing. Okay, I got -1 and -1, and then 4, -4. Okay, y is on the top. -4 minus 1 minus -1 turns to -4 plus 1. On the bottom, I have 4 minus -1. Okay, -4 plus 1 is -3, and 4 plus 1 is 5. Now that does not reduce, so it's -3 over 5 is my slope. And then that graph is good. That would be falling. Okay. Why don't you guys try 15 and 16 on your own? I'll help you real quick with 15. We'll set it up real quick. There's our points. Remember the y's go on the top and x's go on the bottom. Okay, go ahead and pause that video and, oh, hold on. I just noticed something. That's a -1, Mr. Grice. Did you guys catch that? Yeah, Mr. Grice almost made a mistake. Okay, so 15, 16, go for it. Okay, so you should have gotten -1/3 as your final answer for number 15. Remember to reduce your fraction, and that is falling. And then 16, we got undefined. Remember, if it's got a 0 on our slope, we have to figure out what that is. Okay. So now the fun part. Find the missing value by using the given information. A line has a slope of 1/2 and passes through -2y and 4, 2. So we have to figure out what is y. Now, we know the slope formula, right? Okay, so the slope formula is m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So we know this, okay? We've been practicing it for the past day or two, okay? So I know the slope, right? I know my slope is 1/2. But now we have to figure out what y is. Okay, so I'm following the formula. I have 2 minus y, and on the bottom, 4 minus -2. So 4 minus -2. So what we're going to do first, okay, after we set up, okay, 1 we set up, 2 we're going to simplify, okay? And what do you mean simplify, Mr. Grice? Right there. So 1 over 2 equals 2 minus 1, or 2 minus y, plus 6. We've solved problems like this, and the way we solved them was by cross multiply. Okay, so multiply the one side, 1 times 6, we get 6. On the other side, I need to make sure to put parentheses around the 2 minus y, and that turns into 2 times 2 minus y. And then we're going to solve, okay? So when I'm solving, I would distribute. So I'm just going to move this up a little bit so I have a little bit more room. Okay. And so I have 6 equaling 2 times 2 is 4 minus 2y. And now solve. So I'd subtract 4 to both sides because I want to get the y by itself. 6 minus 4 is 2. And then to get the y by itself, I would divide by -2. And 2 divided by -2 makes that y equals -1. Okay, so set it up. simplify, cross multiply, solve. Now, my slope is -2. And remember that that's -2 over 1. So I have -2 over 1 equals, and here I'm getting ready to set up my formula. This time we're trying to find the x. I set it up the same way, okay? It's -1 minus 3. And then on the bottom, I have -2 minus x. Okay? So I can simplify the top to -4, and the bottom stays -2 minus x. I'm going to put that in parentheses because now when I cross multiply, I have -2 times -2 minus x equaling 1 times -4, which is -4. Okay? And then distribute. -2 times -2 is 4. -2 times -x is a positive 2x. And that equals -4. And now solve. So I'm going to subtract 4 to both sides. I'm left with 2x equaling -8. And to get the x by itself, I divide by 2. And then we get that x equals -4. Okay, so number 19, I'm going to help you set up. We have a slope of 3/4. Put our subtraction signs down. On the top, I have -2 minus 5, which turns to a plus 5. On the bottom, I have x plus 3. Okay, so guys, why don't you simplify and then cross multiply and solve. And we'll go over the answers in a sec. Pause the video and good luck. Okay, and then we get that x equals 1. Now, at any time, if you want to check your answer, we'll just talk about this briefly. If x is 1, I can come in here and go that, well, my slope equals -2 plus 5. X is 1, so 1 plus 3. -2 plus 5 is 3, and 1 plus 3 is 4. And that's what my slope is supposed to equal. So I did it right. Okay? Now, number 20, I am not helping you out at all. You guys are all on your own. Pause that video, and good luck. Okay, and when you're all done, you should get that 4 equals 1. Now, if you have any questions or need extra help, please see Ms. Carranza or myself. We would love to help you out. Your homework is 2.6 practice B. Okay. And that's it. So this is Mr. Grice signing off for Algebra 2, Unit 2.6 notes, Day 2. Thanks for watching.